What's up, you swans? It's your commissioner again, Tyler Hahn, here to go over the last week, and kind of look forward to predictions of this week, and just pretty much what I did last week, just at a much not going to go into everybody's team, but I want to spend a little bit of time going over this week's matchups, where everybody's at, and what we can expect for next week. This is going to be not going to be a weekly thing for me, but with some current stuff that's happened, I've had a lot of free time. I know Clay is supposed to be doing some, so he might do his own one of these, but you do it before Thursday. What's the fucking point? You don't do it before Thursday, I should say. So we'll see. But I really, like I said, just want to go over what happened this past week. What the waiver claims were, and really what we can look forward to in next week's matchups. And I'll start off by going over the fact that I did lose to Jimmy Ferg. It's a terrible feeling. Not all of us have been there recently, but I've been here, and it feels like shit. The league as a whole was pretty low scoring. There's a lot of injuries this week. A lot of players getting zero. So 128 was the highest, followed by 123, and then all the way down to 108, which was myself. So I didn't put up a lot of points, but would have beaten most of you swans. So you're fucking lucky. Jimmy Ferg's team did everything that I expected from the position players, except for Des Bryant went the fuck off on me. And that's my fault. I called out Des Bryant. He's the guy on his team that has the most talent, I will admit. But at the same point in time, he still was injured for part of the game. I kind of wish that he would have stayed injured, but, whatever. He came back in, put up 21 on me. And Manasiata as well, which was a nice pickup considering the Adrian Peterson ridiculousness. I know Zach didn't put in a bid, but you wouldn't put in a high enough bid either anyway. So fuck you, Zach. So pretty much, that was the team. But then the Patriots defense and Dan Bailey combining for almost 50 points really just fucked me. I didn't have a phenomenal week either. I had 108, but only Fred Jackson, Calvin Johnson, and Patterson only having 6, 11, 7. That hurts. And then the big thing with Blair Walsh getting me 0. But let's be honest. If Blair Walsh even got me 10 points, like a normal kicker, I still would have had 117. And would have just hurt. The loss would have just hurt more because I would have actually had to care about what Frank Gore did. For me, really wasn't. There really wasn't many changes I could have made with my current squad that would have gotten me there. Just was a week. Tell Clay, nice job, go fuck yourself, and beat your ass in the playoffs if we play, but probably won't see you there. And then moving on, Savage Animal got the best of Dustin. Dustin had had a much better week than last week, but he did have No Moreno get hurt, which it was No Moreno and Ryan Matthews. The thing is, when you lose that close of a game, No Moreno was probably 4 points better than Ryan Matthews. So it does suck to be Dustin. I don't know if he's watching this, but if you are, sucks to be you, nerd. Victor Cruz did nothing. And then Savage Animals team really, Roddy White, Ryan Matthews. I did say that DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews. You're probably one of them's probably gonna get hurt. It just happened a little bit sooner than I thought. So, Ryan Matthews is down. He's going to have to rely on that's kind of why he put in a big waiver claim this week for Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden was our high at $21. So he's just hoping that he can fill the gap of Ryan Matthews with Darren McFadden and that he'll get there. He did have Jonathan Dwyer as well, which, you might have looked at him as, he did get a touchdown last week. He might be a reliable, couple spot start, but no dice. So that's, on Dustin's side, he actually has a pretty deep team. So hit me up and trade. I'm there. but you don't trade anybody, so why am I don't even know why I'm talking. You're not going to be watching. So, Savage Animal kept his spot, but he didn't seem too dominant. Jeff put Voodoo Sam down to 0-2. Tough being new in the league. Both had some zeros from Doug Martin, the muscle hamster, and AJ Green. They canceled each other out. Sam does have Niall Davis, so moving forward, it's a big week for him. He's got to win. Chilgard against Kevin. Again, Chilgard put Kevin to 0-2. Somebody was going to be 0-2 out of here. So Kevin just really got hurt by Pierre Garçon. Demaryius Thomas hasn't really been representative second-round pick, early second-round pick. So obviously needs some more out of him as well. Did get some good contributions from Ravens defense and Stephen Gostkowski, but overall just not. 97 points is fine, but it's the early week, so you got to expect to put up more than that. 97, I mean, if you score about 95 points a week, you should probably make the playoffs. If you average if you always have that, like that, if that's your average. But on a given week, if that's your high, you're gonna lose random games to somebody who has 123, like Jeff did. Hunt beat out Aaron. Nothing too crazy here. I'm matching with two of the teams that I thought was better. I don't like how Aaron changed his team name this week either. Mulatto Butts. What the hell is that? Obviously something that I'm not familiar with. Marcus Colston getting a big zero burger. And you also kind of proved to yourself Colin Kaepernick is not going to be the most consistent quarterback. He can have 30 one week and he can have 10 the next because he's going to have 3 interceptions. So, you're kind of playing that game. Match the sketchiness level and kind of the just solid play level with Dustin Gibbs grade HJs, aka Hunt the Swant. But Hunt the Swant was able to have McCoy in there and Andrew Luck kind of pull him up to 100 and get him a respectable score. And then finally, Zach lost to the newcomer Steve. Zach, in traditional fashion, getting cute, putting in Jake Locker over Jay Cutler. That's a feel bad because that right there would have put him up to 100, close to 108 points, like about what I scored. And he would have won this game. Would have been a triumphant Monday night victory. The Eagles won. Darren Sproles got him 27 points and got him the win when he didn't expect it. But instead, Darren Sproles only got him close enough to really, really hate himself for putting Jay Cutler on the bench. So that might be one that Zach looks back on. It is, 0-2 is where you can come back. Once you're 0-3, it's really hard to come back from 0-3. But we're pretty much looking at the same type of, last week I really thought that Savage Animal was strong. I thought Hunt's team was good. Those two are the top 2 teams in our league for 2-0 points scored. Then Steve and Clay won. So got to give them their props. Steve, as long as if he goes up against Zach and players that just don't set their overthink their lineup every week, then he's going to be fine. And then Gordon got the busted nut on me. So I'm sitting there and then we got 1-1s. We got me, we got Jeff, we got Aaron, we got Chilgart, and then we got 4 0-2s, which is Zach, got Kevin, got Dustin, and we got Sam. So the 0-2s, maybe one of them has a chance to make the playoffs, but it's going to be pretty tough. Definitely one of them but I can't see more than one making the playoffs at this point. We're kind of like the NFL stats. This week we didn't have too exciting of auctions. We had Darren McFadden get taken for $21, but everything outside of that was just people posturing with how much players are worth, kind of setting the precedent, like a player like Brian Quick, who is obviously the number one wide receiver on a bad team or a bad offense, is worth like $11. Mohamed Sanu, who might be better if AJ Green, we know that he has just a problem with his foot that is never going to get better, really, unless he takes time off. So either he doesn't take time off and Mohamed Sanu's really good because, he's favoring it, or he does take time off and Mohamed Sanu's pretty good. So I like that pickup by Ground and Pound USA. We already mentioned Darren McFadden. Isaiah Crowell, or however you say his name, was probably a reach. Just no one else really thought that guy was worth anything. I'm looking. I don't know if anybody else in this league bid on him. No one else did. So you could get him for zero. So $12 compared to zero, pretty big miss. But if you think he's going to be something, then it's worth it. I didn't really make any huge claims this week. I didn't really think any of the players were that good. I lost my Niles Paul deal. I got Larry Donald as the I wanted a tight end, so kind of he was like the consolation prize. I did get Cody Parkey, so I know the Eagles are going to score points. So I just feel like I feel a lot better with him being my kicker than with Blair Walsh now that Adrian Peterson's out, because I don't want to get zero again. So that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else in waivers is pretty minute. So let's go to this week real fast. I'm playing Jeff in a 1-1 death match. Then we got a 2-0 death match of Jimmy Ferd versus Rupert. One of these friends is gonna have to die. We got an 0-2 match. So we got a lot of like conflicting. Seasons are gonna end. People's seasons are gonna be made. We got Voodoo Sam versus Dustin. Is Voodoo Sam gonna get his first win in this league, push himself to 1-2 and try and work back up, or is Dustin just going to, probably start Noshan Moreno right into that matchup and still beat you with Noshan Moreno? I mean, that's going to be the big one. It looks like, sorry, Dustin already set his lineup, so no, so you're kind of screwed there. But God, Doug Martin is a miserable play, questionable again. I would just sit that guy down and make him have a great week before you go with him, because you cannot afford to get zero from that guy again. Your running backs are pretty terrible, but the Justin Forsett obviously does have a role. I would just roll with him and Niall Davis and just wait for Doug Martin, because if Doug Martin has one game, if you can cherish that on your bench and get the win. But God, it's so you just can't take a zero from one of your running backs. Vincent Jackson, you'll find out early if he's going to maybe be restored. Julian Edelman will probably play. I don't know his questionable status. He's finally starting you're starting the wide receivers that I probably would suggest. And Jeff, and Dustin, his lineup's pretty solid. I mean, he's got a lot of running backs. It's really not like him, but that's gonna be a good one of 0-2s. We got Wet Republicans versus. So we got Kevin versus Hunt. Is it just gonna stay 3-0, 0-3, or are we gonna mix it up? We're gonna get people mushed together more here. We got Hudgens versus Aaron. So that's a 1-1 team versus a 2-0 team. A 1-1 team that I probably think is stronger than the 2-0 team. So it's going to be interesting to see if Aaron can kind of come back over the top, get that win. Zach's going against Chilgard, who's coming off one of the top scorers in our league. So Chilgard is at a high right now. Zach's team is going to have to face that head on, or he's going to really regret it. And then finally, I'm going to take a little deeper look into me and Jeff's matchup. Jeff's team really relying on Ahmad Bradshaw. He's got the AJ Greens and Shane Vereen's of the world. Shane Vereen didn't have a great week, so I'm kind of hoping for a second bad week. Ahmad Bradshaw's, but Shane Vereen and Ahmad Bradshaw are playing against Oakland and Jacksonville, so that's pretty tough for me. I really hope AJ Green. Julio Jones too. He has Julio Jones. Shit, I have him in my other main league. So I'm gonna kind of be rooting for him tonight. So I guess I'm just going to be like, yeah, no, fuck, no, damn it, because like Julio Jones is going to beat me up regardless. So maybe I can withstand a strong game from him. Julius Thomas is playing against the Seahawks, but you never know. Peyton Manning will probably turn it back on for a regular season game. Maybe kick some ass. His team is pretty solid. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, Arian Foster is questionable, but I think that's really just he's going to get days off practice. That seems like a Bill O'Brien type thing to do. I hope so. Just to give him a little rest. I feel pretty good about him against the Giants, though. Same with Greg Olsen. Seems like he's getting some rest. Andre Ellington, I'm again sketched out by him, but if he plays, I think I'm ready to roll with him over Fred Jackson. I guess we'll see. Other than that, I'm pretty much set where I am, and we'll have to hope that I have a good week from some of my good guys. Let's see if he has. He does not have a Monday, so we'll know by the end of the night, by 8:30 when Cam Newton goes, we'll know who's going to win this fantasy matchup. Because it looks like he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have Nick Foles. Fuck, man, you kidding me? It looks like I'm going to have to be sweating out a fucking kicker on Monday night, so hopefully I'm just kicking your ass, Jeff. But if not, fuck you. Hopefully your kicker does nothing. That's kind of it. So, if I had to give my guesses, I'll put myself at 2-1, Jeff at 1-2. I'll put Rupert at 3-0 and Jimmy Ferg at 2-1. I'll put Hunt at 3-0 and Kevin at 0-3. Sorry, Kevin. I'll put Voodoo Sam getting on the board, even making himself 1-2 and probably ending Dustin's season. Shulgard I'll have going to 2-1. Just looks like he's going to be pretty tough for Zach to take down. And then I'll have Aaron taking, we'll see if Aaron can live up to the hype that I've given him. And we'll have Aaron taking out Steve Hudgens, giving him his first loss, kind of mushing things a little closer together. So that's that's pretty much what I think of week 1, of last week. What the fuck is wrong with me? This is going to be week 3. It's going to be, a lot of things. It's pretty early that a lot of 0-2 teams are going up. We got an 0-2 matchup. We got a 1-1 facing an 0-2. So it's going to be pretty tough. And me and Jeff is a big matchup. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun this weekend. And I hope you swans are ready for my team to run train. Later.